I'm using synchronized sound and lighting to create some very realistic animations on my model railroad on Ron's Trains and Things right now. Hi, I'm Ron of Ron's Trains and Things. Lately, I have been doing a lot of work with sound and lighting to create realistic animated effects on my layout. Well, today I'm going to bring those two things together with the new SyncBoard from Jackson Railcar. This SyncBoard works in conjunction with their environmental sound module, which I showed you in a previous video, to synchronize lighting effects with the sounds. Now, the folks at Jackson Railcar were kind enough to send me the SyncBoard to test and review, and I've had a lot of fun playing with its various effects. It's great for creating lightning with thunder, fire with sound, or as I'm doing today, a welder with realistic sound. Animations like this can really up your game when it comes to bringing a scene to life. So let me show you how I built this system and how the light board works and everything that it can do. This video is brought to you by Midwest Model Railroad. Whether you're browsing their massive 15,000 square foot showroom in Missouri or shopping their easy-to-navigate website, Midwest Model Railroad takes the guesswork out of the hobby with a curated product selection and a team that cares about your project as much as you do. MidwestModelRR.com. Link in the description. In a previous video, I showed you how I used the Jackson Railcar Environmental Sound Module Pro, like this one, to create ambient sounds in a scene, and I triggered that sound with a proximity detector powered by an Arduino Nano. I'm going to be using the same process to power this project, so if you haven't seen that previous video, I'll link it at the end of this video and also in the description down below. You'll want to see how that Arduino trigger works. I also have a complete set of instructions on how to set up the Arduino part of this project and all of the code that you'll need for the Arduino sketch, and it's available for free at my website, and I'll also link that directly in the description below as well. I want to say right off that if the Arduino part of this project is a problem for you, Jackson Railcar has their own proprietary switches for these boards, which are plug and play, and they're coming very soon. They're in production now, and I will post a video about them as soon as they're available. Today, however, I want to show you the SyncBoard, which allows you to control lighting effects in sync with the sounds of the environmental sound module. This creates animations and, in my case, a welding effect. To connect the sound module to the SyncBoard, you need a 6-conductor RJ11 or RJ12 cable. Just plug it into the jacks, and you'll also need an 8-ohm speaker for the sound. The SyncBoard allows you to control up to 8 LEDs in 2 independently adjusted banks. Simply connect the LED wires into the friction connectors right on the board. Each bank has a potentiometer on the board that allows you to simply turn it to get the sensitivity and thus the lighting effect that is right for your application. It is incredibly easy. Most nano boards require you to solder the pin rails onto the boards. I find mounting them on a breadboard holds everything in place for this step. A touch of flux, a little solder, quick on and quick off with a hot iron, and this step is done in no time. I used a 6 by 8 inch scrap of 1/2 inch plywood as a mounting board for this project. For my setup, I'm mounting everything to that board, and I'll then install it underneath the layout. To connect the components to the board, I needed some standoffs for them to set on. You can buy these, but I printed a bunch with my 3D printer. I also printed a mount that I designed to use with mounting Arduino Nano boards. I mounted the SyncBoard, the sound module, and the Arduino components to my little board. I wired all of the components at the bench. Again, the wiring sketch for the Arduino is outlined in the previous video and is also available on the website, link in the description. I created an enclosure for the speaker which helps both the volume and depth of sound. I made it from 40,000 styrene. I simply created a little rectangular box, then made a hole just smaller than the speaker where I could mount the speaker to the surface. I glued the speaker to the enclosure with gel-type superglue using some accelerator to make it set quickly. I then sealed the speaker in place with a bead of hot glue around the perimeter and hot glued the enclosure to the mounting board, making sure the speaker was pointing in the direction that would be towards the aisle when mounted under the layout. Let me pause for a moment to say that if you find this layout animation video interesting or helpful and would like to see more model railroad tips, tools, and techniques to help you build a better model railroad, then be sure to subscribe down below this video and click the little bell icon so you won't miss future videos. The wires for the LEDs and the sensors had to be extended. Soldering tiny wires like this require an extra hand, so I use this magnetic helping hand clamp for tasks like this. It is a godsend for tasks where you need to hold tiny pieces like this while soldering. I'll link this one in my Amazon pick of the week in the description below if you'd like to check it out. I soldered each wire connection together using 22 gauge wire, then applied a bit of heat shrink tubing to insulate it, heating it with the shaft of my soldering iron. I completed the final wiring, including the power leads for the sound module and the nano. The sound module is powered with my 12-volt accessory bus on the layout, and the nano with a 5-volt accessory bus. With everything complete, I tested it before mounting it to the layout. I drilled a couple holes in the mounting board for mounting screws. I'll mount it directly to the underside of the plywood top of my bench work. At the layout, I used this welder in my rip track at North Yard. I marked the placement for the LEDs between the tracks where a car is being worked on, then drilled a hole just big enough for a piece of 3/32 inch styrene tube to fit into. This will serve as a conduit for the LED wires. I inserted the tube, marked and cut it to length, then inserted it again and glued it to the styrene pavement with some solvent cement. I didn't film the work under the layout, but it was simply a matter of screwing the project to the benchwork, connecting the power wires into my accessory power bus on the layout with terminal strips, and feeding the LEDs up through the conduit. I then carefully positioned the LEDs where I wanted them in the scene, making sure that they were pointing in the right direction to get the right lighting effect, and I glued them down with some Aleene's quick-drying tacky glue. I made some final adjustments to the sensitivity. Here you can see the lighting effect of the simulated welder. The way this is mounted allows me to spot any car here to be repaired by the shop welder. I glued a figure of a welding worker in place, making sure that a car can pass without hitting him. He came from a Woodland Scenics Welders and Accessories figure pack, as did this arc welding machine. I glued both down with the same Aleene's tacky glue. I finally set the rip shed back in place, and as you can see, I have a great welding animation with synchronized lighting and sound that looks and sounds incredibly realistic. In addition to the items that I've already mentioned, I'll link where you can find the sound module and the SyncBoard in the description below as well. To see that previous video on the environmental sound module and the Arduino setup that I used to power both of these systems, as well as other model railroad content, check out the links on your screen. Don't forget my Amazon pick of the week and all of the other links that I talked about in the description down below, and join me for future installments as I bring you even more great model railroad videos, and I'll see you on the next video. 10, Lizzie?